Hi, I'm back with another video today. I'm trying to be obedient. God had gave me a couple of topics to speak on, and today we're going to be talking about raising your kids, your children, with God's approval. And I wrote down a couple of scriptures what I'm going to read to you while we're going on with the video. Okay, first and foremost, I just want to say, I'm not saying this to step on nobody's toes. Not judging anybody, because everybody have their own way of doing things. I'm just being obedient to what God put in my heart to say, because I have seen too with my own eyes the things that some children do that's not appropriate to their parents, and some parents just act like they don't even see it. They just look right across it, like it doesn't bother me. Like, when they know it's embarrassing, especially when you go out in public with these children that you're raising at home, and you're putting these phones in front of them, or you putting TV in front of them just to keep them, away from you, because you have your own personal things that you gotta go through, or you're going through, as in you really not paying the children no attention because you feel like, okay, if I give them a phone, they'll leave me alone. If I put cartoons on, they'll leave me alone. And that's another thing, like some of these TV shows that y'all allowing y'all children to watch, it's just is bad. If y'all take the time out and watch TV with your kids and just see the type of things that they're watching on TV, even though you think, oh, it's a trend and everybody's watching it. Oh, and I like that because they're watching it, so let me let my child watch it. If you just sit down and watch the things that these kids be watching, you will see where the problem starts. Because at the end of the day, it all starts from home. It starts from home. So if your kids are doing certain things and they picking up on bad habits, they picking it up from somewhere. They're not picking it up on their own, because no child is born bad. Children pick up on things what they see. Children are like sponges. Whatever they see you do, they're gonna go and repeat it. So it's like, you gotta be cautious on what you do around your children. You gotta be cautious on what you say around your kids, because kids pick up on things or whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're saying. Even if you're on the phone having a conversation, you're on the phone with your friend, you think that child not paying attention to you because that child is playing with toys, or that child is watching TV, or that child is on the phone, which no child should be on no phone at a certain age. That child is listening to everything you're saying, and then they go to repeating things what you done said, and you be wondering where they get these curse words from. You can't be doing certain stuff around kids, because kids get their understanding and they get their learning skills from you. So if you're doing these things around your kids, then of course they're gonna pick up on bad habits. And like I said about this cartoon stuff, y'all need to sit back and really watch these cartoons and see what your kids are watching, because some of this stuff that be on TV, they be saying things, they be cursing, they be disrespecting their parents, they be hitting their parents, they be throwing stuff at their parents. But because it's cartoons, you think that it's okay. You would think, oh, why would they put that in cartoons? Some of these cartoons, they put in there that they kissing on girls, they kissing on boys. So you have to be careful about what you putting in front of your kids to watch, just to have them entertained, because you feel like you don't have no time for them. Even the schools that you're putting your kids in, just because you feel like you don't want to be bothered with them. I don't care. I just want them to go to school. I don't care what school they go to. Your child education should be very important. Very important. You should want to know what they picking up at school, who they hanging around at school, what they're doing in school. You shouldn't want to know those things, because all of those things that they pick up, even from school, they're going to bring it right in your house. Some people have spirits on them, and they're teaching your children to do bad things, and they telling them what they doing to their parents, so they feel like they can come home and do the same thing to you. So you have to be more active in your children's life when it comes down to, what they're doing, who they're doing it with, and who they're hanging around, even when they're in school. Because when a child is small, from ages coming up, the months, even when your child is 5, going on 6, 7, 8 months, they are learning. They're learning. So that's the time for you to try to teach your child to do right. Teach them what's right and what's wrong. Because if you don't do it, then TV gonna do it. Social media gonna do it. Other children is gonna do it. And then it's gonna be hard for you to break those cycles off them, because that's just something that was engraved in their mind. Because why? You not paying no attention to your child. Like, you cannot just allow your child to just do whatever they want to do and watch themselves and just act like they ain't got no parent, and they the parent, and they just do whatever it is they want to do, especially at an early age. And to be honest, I feel like no phone should be given to a child. No phone should be given to a child, because all the stuff that's going on right now with these phones and this YouTube stuff, and even these kids apps, whatever. Like, if you're not being active in your child's life and monitoring those stuff to see what they're doing, you don't know who and what these kids is watching. These kids now are so advanced, so they know what to go to, they know what to pick, they know what to choose. And it's like, it's really sad, because you should not just be giving a child a phone or a tablet or something like that just for them to be quiet. Or then when you take that tablet away, guess what they doing? They screaming and hollering, and they want to hit you, they want to fight, and all because they don't want you to take that stuff away from them. But then guess what? When you take them to the store, guess how they're gonna act at a store? When you tell them no, they can't have it, they gonna be screaming and hollering. Screaming and hollering like you beat them inside of that store. Do you know how embarrassing that is? For you as a child, as a parent, and then your child is acting out in the way that you don't beat them, when you probably don't even beat them, so they probably don't even know what a beating feel like, but they can sit up here and scream and holler and stomp and fall all on the floor in a store, all because you tell them no. It starts from home. You gotta discipline these children while they at home. I don't care if they not in school yet. You still gotta teach these children what to do, what not to do. You gotta teach them, because if you don't teach them, they're gonna embarrass you. And if you don't spank them, they not gonna never know what they doing is wrong. If you rewarding them when they're doing wrong, how do you think that they're gonna know what they doing is wrong? They're not gonna know that. You have to teach these children at a very young age, what's right and wrong. Because if you do not put your foot down with these children will embarrass you. These children will embarrass you. Then when they get older, it's gonna be worse. They're gonna be trying to jump on you. They're gonna embarrass you in front of company. They're gonna embarrass you when you take them out, because they're gonna be disrespecting you. Who wants to go through all that when all you gotta do is just play your part as a parent? And I know it's hard for a lot of single parents. Because you feel like, well, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, or like, I don't got time for that. Like, I got all these kids and I can't do it. Like, listen, if you feel like that, you need to stop having sex. You need to wait till you get married so that you and your husband can raise that child. Stop having babies from men, because that's not going to keep no man with you. No matter what you do to keep them in your house, in your bed, or whatever you doing with them, that's not gonna keep no baby. Ain't gonna keep no man. No baby ain't gonna keep no man. And the reason why I can sit up here and say If you are a single parent, you should still be able to do what you got to do. I got 5 kids, and I raised my kids by myself. Majority of their life, I raised them by myself. Even when I was in a relationship, I felt like I raised my kids by myself. So it's no excuse. It's no excuse at all. And my kids have respect. They have respect for people. They have respect for me. Even now, as they older, I didn't just give my kids, here, get this tablet or get this phone. Like, no. My kids had to earn that stuff. And guess what? If they do something bad or they do something that they know they have no business doing, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I don't care. Cry. You get over it. And if they do something that they know they ain't got no business doing, you getting the spanking. Yes, I did. You have to beat your children. I'm sorry. You have to. Because if you don't, when they get older, they gonna feel like they can beat on you. Especially if ain't no man around. But all men ain't even good, man, because you got some man that's sorry. That ain't gonna say nothing. They'll sit back and just let you handle all his lightweight. You gotta do everything. You gotta be the mama and the daddy. And you got a man in the house. And some men don't even want to take care of nobody else's children. So they definitely ain't gonna say nothing. But you just got that man there. Why? Because it's pleasure for you. You got to think about all of that. When you have boys, you need to have a man in the house. Not a little boy. A man that's going to show them respect and show them how to treat a woman. That's what you need. But the problem is, with a lot of women, you think these boys that you raising them up to be your man. You raising them up to be your man, and that's not fair for the child, because they ain't gonna never learn how to be a man. They ain't gonna never learn how to treat a woman. They ain't gonna never learn how to do anything outside of you. They gonna always depend on mama. They gonna always feel like I gotta make sure my mama good. Not saying that that's a bad thing. Of course you should make sure mama good. But the thing is, when you putting that on them kids' mind, them boys' mind, that you have to do this before you do this, that's wrong. Because you should be raising your child, your son up to be a husband. Raising your son up to love a woman. Raising your son up to be financially stable. That's what you should do. Not to depend on you. And that's why a lot of these boys out here be beating on women. Beating on girls. Because why? They don't want to do their part as being a man. And that's why a lot of women have to sit up here and pull weight by themselves, because they dealing with little boys. And that's why a lot of these boys out here in the streets like that doing what they doing, because a lot of these mothers feel like, well, they don't talk to their daddy, they don't this, and I don't even care, like that's on him. Like, no, I have 3 boys. 3 boys. And neither one of my boys is in the streets. Neither one of my boys ever went to jail. My boys don't go clubbing. I'm not trying to say, oh, that's a good thing, which it is a good thing to me. My oldest is 24 years old. He never been to jail. Never been arrested. Never even been in custody at all. A 18-year-old. Never been in trouble. Never been arrested. They have respect. I taught them at an early age. I don't care what your daddy do to you. I don't care what he said to you. I don't care what he didn't do for you. Even when he was a child. I don't care. That's still your dad. At the end of the day, you respect him. I never talked bad about my kid's dad. I knew how they were, but I never told my children that. When they got older, they realized this on their own. So you still gotta be that mother and teach your children what they supposed to do and what they not supposed to do. Because if you don't, God is gonna hold you accountable for that, because you were the one that was majority in that child's life. When God give you a womb to produce and to have a child, that's a blessing. That's a reward from the Lord. So if God is sitting up here blessing you with these children, that's a blessing. You know how many people that cannot have children? How many women that can't even bear and hold children in their womb? And you sitting up here having all of these kids and not teaching them nothing? Not doing what you're supposed to do as a mother, showing them love, giving them discipline. Like, that's not cool. Even some men can't have kids either. But you know how many men would love to have children of their own, just to show them and teach them what they know, even when it's about God? Because that's what we're supposed to do in the first place. You're supposed to teach your child how to pray. Your kids should be praying at a certain age. Your kids should be praying for their food before they eating. They should be praying before they go to bed. They should be praying when they get up in the morning. They should be thinking and praising God. They should be worshiping God right along with you. That's what they should be doing. Not just in their phone, doing whatever it is they want to do, or in a tablet, because that's what you push it in their face, and watching Bluey. I think that's the most, that is not a good show. I sat there and I watched that with my little cousins. That show is not good for no child to watch. Those dogs, or whatever you want to call them, are very disrespectful to their parents. Very. So if you let your child watch that, you need to take an episode and just watch and see how those dogs do their parents. Because I know it's like an imagination thing, what they do with their kids or whatever. They try to interact with their kids, but at the end of the day, those things are disrespectful. Okay. What I want to do is I want to read something to y'all. Like what I was just telling y'all, how when God gives you a child, that's a gift. And this is Psalms 127:3. It says, children are an inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So your children is your reward. You're not supposed to take them for granted. Don't take your children for granted, because at the end of the day, when they get older, all of that trauma that you don't put into those kids' mind and their hearts and all of this stuff, that stuff gonna follow them. That's gonna follow them. No child should be going through no type of trauma at an early age as a child, and no pressure or no anything that's not of a child should be pursued like on the child. Like, it should not be forced on the child at an early age. Like, no, you need to do what you need to do as a mother or as a father, if you're a single father too, and let those kids be kids, because they're not going to always be kids. Let them enjoy their youthful life, because when you rush a child to be an adult, or rush a child to be, at a certain age before their time, guess what? Their whole youth is wasted. When you grow and get grown, you don't get no younger. You get older and older and older. So why not let them enjoy their youth? That don't mean I'm telling you they shouldn't be no phones. They shouldn't be doing this. There's a lot of things that kids can do without even having a phone, without having a tablet, without always putting the TV in front of them. You can do other things with your children. Teach them about God. Teach them how to pray. Teach them their alphabets. Teach them how to spell their name. Just teach them things that you know that will benefit them in the long run. Like, that's what being a good parent. Take them to church too, if you can find a good church, because not all churches is good, but take them to church. And then another one is Proverbs 23:13. It says, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shall deliver his soul from hell. So you see what beating does to your child? When you beat them when you supposed to beat them, not abusing them, just beating them for anything. No, you beat them when you're supposed to beat them. You would know when your child needed to be spanked. You will know that. Because a person that spanked their child, that's love. That's discipline. That's just like how God disciplined us. He disciplined us every day. When you do something wrong, God gonna discipline you. He gonna punish you for that. So if God is doing this discipline to us and we grown, why won't you think that your child need to be disciplined? Your child need to be disciplined too, because if you don't discipline your child, guess what? Those the ones, I'm sorry to say, but those are the ones that end up in jail, end up killing people, and end up dying early, and they end up in hell. Because why? They parent ain't teach them nothing. They just so arrogant. They don't care nothing about life. They don't care nothing about nobody. They got no love in their heart. Why? Because they mother or they father didn't love them how they needed to be loved. A child needs to be loved. A child needs to be loved. A child needs attention from their parents. And if you're not giving your child that attention that they need at a young age, then what makes you think that they're going to have that same love and that same thing to give somebody else when they get older? They're going to just have build up anger. They're going to have all this, they're going to have abandonment issues, trust issues. It's like, it's just going to be really, really sad for them. And then another one I wanted to read is Proverbs 13, yeah. And it says, Proverbs 13 and 14, he that spared his rod hated his son, which means him that don't beat his child, hate his child, because you don't care what that child do. You don't care what he gonna do when he in the streets. You ain't gonna care nothing what your child gonna do. So let me read that again. He that spareth his rod hated his son, but he that loveth him chastised him betimes. And betimes, I had to look that up. Betimes mean early or in good times, as in you doing it at an early age. You chastising them at an early age. You letting them know at an early age what they're doing is wrong. You're not just letting them do whatever they want to do, and then you still rewarding them. Like, say, like, for instance, if your child do something at home and you know they're not supposed to do it, and that child know he's not supposed to do it, but he doing it anyways because you know you gonna let him do it and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. You go to the store, this child asks something, you give it to him. You basically rewarding your child for doing wrong. No. Even when people try to sit up here and talk about some time out. Who even started time out? God ain't say put your child in time out. God said, he said, you need to beat your children when they're not behaving, basically. He ain't said nothing about put them in the corner or put them in timeout so that they can think about what they did. No. I mean, I'm not saying that everything your child do, you have to beat them, because that's not true. You can speak to them and talk to them. But when you keep seeing repeated actions being done and you see that they're not learning from their actions, that's when you need to try something different. Because if you don't do that, that child ain't gonna be no good for nobody. If they don't respect you, they're not gonna respect nobody else. Because a lot of times now, kids feel like, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, I ain't gotta listen to you. And what does it say? What is that saying? It take a whole village to raise a child, or a whole village to raise your children. So that means it don't only take you. When your child is out in the streets or out, out with friends or whoever they're out with, and if a grown adult see them doing something that they ain't supposed to do, that grown person should be able to tell your child, now, hey, why you doing that? You know that's not right. Do your mama know you doing that? Without that child being disrespectful and saying, you shut the F up. You ain't my mama. You ain't my daddy. You don't tell me what to do. Now, that's disrespectful for you to tell somebody older than you that. And that's exactly what is going on right now in this world. This is what kids are saying to grown-ups. I would have never cursed in front of a grown person when I was younger. I didn't even like to curse, to tell you the truth. I would not do that. I would not use those words. I would not use those words. But then for you to say it and do it and disrespect the elder, your elder, disrespectful. And if a child is doing that to somebody, guess what? They doing it right in front of you. You just turn the other cheek like you don't see what's going on. But you keep on turning the other cheek and not chastising your child because you feel like, I don't want to beat my child. I don't want to do because my mama did this and my mama did that. Your mama did it for a reason. And look how you turned out. Because your mama whooped your butt. But you want to sit up there and say you're not going to whoop your child. So if you're not going to whoop your child, how you think your child going to turn out better than you? Come on now. Come on. Y'all got to stop trying to be these kids' friends. They don't need a friend. They need a parent. They need a parent. It's a time for that in their lives when you can start being their friend. when they become an adult. But when they are children, they have to act as children. And you have to be that parent for your children and be that child's mother or that child's father, not that child's friend. You should not even, like, why would you be calling your child your friend? Like, come on. That's where the confusion come in at. A child feel like you their friend, they feel like you their homie, and they feel like they can say certain things around you and say certain things to you and do certain things to you because, why? Because you don't confuse them with friendship and not being a parent. You can't do that. We have to do better as parents because at the end of the day, the children are our future. And if we raising these kids like this and we're not disciplining these children and teaching them what they need to really truly know, then the street's going to get a hold of them. And that's why a lot of these children is dead now. They're dead. And then they waking up in hell. And guess what? When all of that stuff happened, who you think God gonna hold accountable for that? He's not gonna hold the father responsible. He's gonna be held responsible for it too. But the main person who the child was with and who God put that child with, who have custody of that child, you gonna be the biggest blame for it. God gonna hold you accountable for all of that. For all of that. God say, train up a child in the way he should go, so when he get old, he will not depart from it. So if he telling us all of these things about these children, and children obeying their parents in the Lord for this is right, and you not teaching your child that, your child ain't gonna be good for nobody. If he ain't gonna listen to you, what made you think he gonna listen to Jesus Christ when he's telling him in his spirit, don't go that way, go this way, because over there you gonna die. If they don't hear that spirit in them, and you ain't teaching them that God speaks to you within, if he ain't speaking to you audibly, how would they know when God is speaking to you? Because God warns all of us. He talked to all of us. He even talked to a dog. He talked to animals. So if God's speaking to all of us, and your child can be prevented from walking into a fire or walking into death, why would you not teach him these things? You have to teach your child what's right and what's wrong. And they should not be disrespecting you and trying to hit you and hitting you when you tell them no. Screaming from the top of their lungs when they're in a store when you tell them no, they can't have something, because half of the time as a single parent, you don't even have the money to get the stuff that they even want. You just going to the store to go buy something to eat or something for these children to have something to eat, and they screaming from the top of their lungs all because you tell them they can't have something. Your children should be acting like that. That's embarrassing. And that shows you right there and there what you're not doing at home. It shows you what you're not doing at home. Because when you tell your child no, it should not seem like that's the first time they ever hear a no. Because if your child always hear no, then they will be comfortable with saying, okay, mommy said no. And if they want to come back again, mommy, okay, can I have it now? That's a different story. But when you tell them no and they just fall all out and screaming, who? You better whoop their butt. Since they want to cry like you beat them, you better whoop their butt and give them something to cry for. You don't let your child act like that. That's not cute. And just because you sit up there ignoring them, you making it seem like, oh, he'll stop. He'll stop whenever he feel like it. No, it ain't no whenever he feel like it or whenever she feel like it. You got to do something about that. You have to stop that. Because if you don't stop that, those be the ones that be the brats. They be brats when they get older. They don't listen to nobody. They don't never want to hear no. They don't like rejection. You got to do better. We have to do better raising these children. Like, these kids are blessings. God ain't just giving us these kids for them to just raise themselves. We have to be parents, and good parents at that. We have to show our children love. We have to give them the attention that they need. Like, talk to them. Ask them what's on their mind. Like, try to intervene with whatever it is they got going on. You know, like, this is why children go out and talk to other people. And then you wonder why your kids is into all this different mess that you don't even show them. Why? Because you're not giving them that attention they need. They're going to go talk to somebody else about it. And this is just why a lot of little girls, young girls, go out and talk to older guys. And they go to having sex with them. Because why? Because you ignore them. You're not talking to them about life. You're not talking to them about what they should do, what and how they should do things. Not saying that you should control their life, but you should at least give them some type of advice. You should, because no child should be coming up here pregnant at a young age, all because mama ain't there. Mama ain't showing me no attention. And mama always working. And mama always with her boyfriend. And she ain't never showing us no attention. Like, come on. Come on, y'all. And let me tell y'all something. At the end of the day, with these men that comes into your life, and if they not trying to involve your children, and they just want to just be with you in a room and in a bedroom all the time, and not even want to involve your kids, not taking your kids out, not showing your kids love, and making them feel appreciative of you know, of you being your kids, those are not the men for y'all. Like, y'all gotta stop putting these men before y'all children, because at the end of the day, your kids gonna always be your kids. These men not promised to nobody. They not promised to nobody. If you don't have a man that comes from God, that man is not for you, and only for you. That man is gonna be with every woman they see walk by that got legs and a vagina, that you, the same thing that you have. They not gonna be faithful to you. You gotta start recognizing the red flags in these men, because you should never let nobody come between you and your children, because your kids gonna always be with you. No man on this earth is obligated to be with you forever unless they coming from the Lord. And that's just the God honest truth. If they ain't from God, they not for you. Only you. They gonna be for everybody else too. They for the streets. Just like they say, oh, she for the streets. They got some men that's for the streets too. And men will only stick around when you giving them something that they want. Trust me. You will know if a man is for you. See how they interact with your kids. And if they not showing you that, they not for you. They just there for all the wrong reasons. Don't even waste your time. And then even have people like that around your children, because if you have girls, they gonna think that that's the kind of man that they're supposed to have too. And your boys gonna be looking at that too and thinking, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do too. No. You gotta stop being selfish and stop thinking about yourself, because when you have kids, it's not about you no more. It's about those children. That's who it's about. It's you is over. You is over. It's about those kids. Get your house in order and take care of those kids, and give those kids the attention that they need. Give them the love that they need, because they didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to be here. Okay? Y'all have a good day, okay?